the sixth lineman do them run the ball. And the single most efficient, explosive play in pro football last season was the Bills passing game with a sixth lineman on the field, right? So
Really?
and what have they done this season? They've said, we've actually found a tight end who can do this stuff for us. And so we're even more balanced. It's even more of a run pass conflict. That's what you're looking for. If we've got run pass conflict, we get explosives. They go out and find the tight end this season. It's like, we don't need the stick lineman anymore. That's still too much of a tell for us. We want to be a two tight end tempo based attack. And that's what the Bills are at now. So the Bills is always the one I go and look to, who I think have a real clear focus beyond having maybe, the most alien special quarterback to have ever played the position, where it's John Elway with, probably even more precise somehow, where they're like, we see the macro picture of the league, we get it and understand it, and so we can deploy the pieces correctly. So the Bills is kind of like, when you wake up on a Monday morning, which film do you first want to pull up and see if other teams try and copy and replicate? It would be the Bills right now.
Right. I mean, the best thing that could have happened is Jackson Hawes catching that pass week 1 against Baltimore. I know he bobbled it a little bit, but you've got to respect the fact that he is a tight end capable of catching a ball down the field. So it's like that threat. I mean, God, love Alec Anderson coming in as that sixth lineman. He's a hell of a lot of fun to talk to, and he'll have some value, I'm sure, but he's not going to be running down the seam to catch a 30-yard gain against the Baltimore Ravens in primetime. So that element of unpredictability is huge, and that changes so much for the Bills offense.
Yeah, because what you're dealing with at the moment as an offense is everyone on defense is moving so much all the time, constantly. Whether it's the two safeties with some kind of roll, right, to change the picture on the back end, or all these mugged up looks up front where you don't know who's dropping, who's attacking. Then they spin on the back end, and you've got 2.8 seconds if you're lucky to figure out what to do with the ball. And so what everyone is trying to do, McVay, Shannon, is like, let's make these guys static. That if we can make them static and we've got Josh Allen, we win the game. That's like it. That's our job as coaches, right? He's too good. If he gets a clean picture, it's over, right? And Allen, more than at any point in his career, is just reading and firing constantly now, right? It is not hold on, hero ball the whole time. So to try and get that best kind of balance, the two ways to do it are, we're going to be big and mash them with the run and make them commit bodies because they can't cope with the run game, or we're going to go super spread out, particularly in empty, and it's just hard to rotate and move a whole bunch because you kind of have to declare your defense when there's five guys out there in the formation. But to bounce back and forth between the two styles where it's really condensed with big bodies and pulling and moving and empty, you end up in this like accordion offense where it's like one play we're empty, one play we're tight. And you see a lot of breakdowns with teams doing that. The Falcons, you'll see if you watch them, it feels like there's no flow to what Zach Robinson's doing, right? It's like something about this feels off. They're bouncing between offenses, play to play. It doesn't really fit and roll together. Whereas when you watch the Bills, because of Hawes, as you mentioned, it's just so fluid because everything is available to them from that same personnel grouping. They can be spread and but cook, in a receiver spot, and you've got to respect that. They could be tight and compact and get to the power run game. So I think that their feel for where the sport's at, having all the right answers with, sensational personnel, obviously, is probably the best kind of like macro blend of offense at the moment.
Love the fact that you still have to punch a team in the jaw. We like that.